At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Electoral activity whatsoever. Yes, I saw posters here and there.
Posters here and there.
I hope I'm true.
Here and there. You're very right. Because
I saw posters.
Even in this area where TVC is situated.
So if posters are sparsely, as if they are, sorry, as if they are economic with the thing.
As if they're doing Ijebu with the posters. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
They are from you.
If they're doing Ijebu with the posters, let them say so.
They are so economic with it. I'm an Ijebu man too anyway. So they have been economic with their posters.
Yes.
So if you do not inform the people, if people do not know what you are doing, then definitely you don't want their involvement, or you are not able and you are not up to the call to which you want, the calling that has been put before you. And to me, it's really disgraceful. And maybe I'll just chip in this. I guess we'll work. You see, every time, a whole lot of things gets thrown up to people like us who are in the civil society and particularly involved in electoral activities. I guess, apart from the presidency and maybe the governor and the local government chairman, that's the office. That's why there is a threshold of passage before you can go on. You hear that for the presidency is 12 to 3rds of the federation, right? That you have to win in the state, in the governorship election too. It is 12 to 2/3 of the total vote cast in the state. Then, of course, for the chairman too, 2/3 of the total vote cast before you can become a president or the governor or the chairman. But here, it's quite embarrassing that just 2,000 votes can make somebody become a member
in Cross River.
That's very bad. Equally here too. The Lagos State here too is the same thing. There must be a threshold that, look, for anybody to win an election, he must pass this test. If not, there will be a rerun or there will be a rerun election again. And we do see it, and that's why you see in what's it now? In some other elections that you find out that if some people are not able to win a percentage, they say that there is going to the election is inquit, and of course they have to do a rerun so as to meet up with the numbers. And that's how it should be here. You see, the whole essence is that it will make the politicians to be up and doing, rather than just being lazing around, just looking at that, well, they will have a caucus meeting and say, don't make noise about it. Let's just relax. And of course, on election day, we'll just go and gather some people, they'll call them to come out and vote. And of course, very few that will come out and vote. That makes it up. And I want to believe that's what really happened. Not even want to believe. That is what really happened this last election. Because if anything at all, one will expect that with the mood of the nation that indeed this NSAS thing that has taken place, that indeed, in fact, I will even blame the youths now. Why? Because one will expect that they will have taken this opportunity to have made a statement that, yes, we the youths are involved. What I just know is that, like their brother and sister, the other ones who contested the presidential election, the other time that we are busy working on the Facebook, the same thing here. This is the end, regime change and so on and so forth. The power must change and we should go and get our PVC ready and co. I was expecting that that would be translated into reality last Saturday. All over Nigeria, not even Lagos State, but you find out that it is just APC and PDP that dominated the political space. It's a shame, and I hope that the youths will wake up. If they don't wake up, well, good luck to them.
Take a look at the two main candidates in Lagos State, for example. As we know, 11 states, went through the exercise. But when you look at it, Tokunbo Abiru, arguably a very new face on the political horizon, not known by anybody beyond the banking community where he came from. He was group managing director of Polaris. And here he is with 89,204 votes. Now, take a person like Gbadamosi. He's been on the political scene for ages. He's a serial, if you want, he's a serial contestant. 11,250. So, really, what's going on here? It's the party that they were voting for. Even the way INEC states it, they say APC and Tokunbo Abiru. 89,204. So it's the party, really. So it's also possible for you to be a material, but to be of the wrong party and, that can, although it can be confusing sometimes because it doesn't work all the time like like that. You know, I don't know if there's if you can draw anything from the election in Edo, the governorship election in Edo, for example.
Yes.
That took a lot of people by surprise. But look at the situation with you know, APC in Lagos. It looks like anybody APC, you know, backs, he's going home and dry.
No, I don't think anybody.
Well, that was an exaggeration.
In the Amu word of the axis, through the solo axis.
Yes.
APC backed people. In fact, I want to believe they backed son of the soil, as it were. But the people thought otherwise. So it's about how everything plays out. It's a combination of so many things, factors, so many factors in various areas.
Not just one.
You can't put it. You can't put it on all fours. That yes, because it happens in this place,
that is the way it's going to be elsewhere.
No. Several situations will happen. Like again, it depends on we call it the politicians call it the party structure. So it depends on the party structure, who owns and how the party structure works, how it relates with the people in various constituencies, in various communities, in various areas. Those who are running the party structure, the candidate that comes up, is it the main party structure that throws him up? Or another person. There's what we call protest vote. Yeah. The party may bring out somebody who is not acceptable to the generality of the members, and of course, there will be a protest. They have a way. Yeah, I've been involved in this thing, and you'll see that just midnight, in fact, 2 hours, in fact, sometimes, on the day of election, on the queue where people are voting, information will be going around. Oh, this thing, is this one, is this one, and you just say, hey, is that so? Yes, so, yes, so, and you see, the whole thing will shift, game like that. And I'll give you the instance of Otedola, and I guess it's Edu, Otedola and Edu, when they ran the election in 1989 or so. So it's like that. That's the governor, Otedola, not Femi.
Yeah, I understand.
Right? So, and it happens all through. Another one is that it is the political party, just as you rightly said, that contests an election. The person or the personality too will come in just to add his own. And of course now the personality, who is he? Is he a stranger? Is he a money bag? Is he a man of the people?
All that will also play into it.
So there are so many things. Then the big one itself is that what is the mood of the people? Do they want to go with them or with this person, or they want to change? Or this person who is a serial candidate, has he been able to warm himself into the hearts of the people? Or he comes in, they only note him during election, he's a seasonal friend. It is when the elections are coming that you see him throwing up so many largesse. After the election, he goes back to his tent. So so many things. But before I go away, let me just drop this. I want to draw the allusion. In Imo State, there was no candidate for APC. It contested against a hot rival, PDP. APC won without a candidate. Again, that's another scenario entirely. Not that the candidate was in prison. No. Like, what was his name? Madiba.
Yes. He still won. We've also, let it be said, we also have had that kind of a phenomenon where somebody has been in prison and has been elected into the Senate, our own Nigerian Senate.
Yes. I said this one.
In this Obodo, okay, that's why you made the difference.
And this one, not that he's in prison. He's not in prison, but there's no candidate to fill as it were on election day, yet the party won. Again, to show that, again, is a whole lot of activities that goes on. Here now, maybe the people, because sometimes, again, I've been on the field there, you say, our own party be that one. Oh, yeah.
Yes. So the ideology is like, it's not center stage.
No. Really... It is unique to every community, every locality, and every place. And of course, individuals play a role, the political structure, the political machinery, and of course, the situation and the personality of the people, their conduct vis-a-vis their people. Just as I said, I know politicians, some of them, they are seasonal politicians. Come out, you see them, they'll throw all their personalities around immediately after the election. In fact, they don't greet people on their street. They do not say hello. And they are not involved in community activities. And of course, all politics are local.
Indeed. Well, it therefore looks like, take the case of Lagos here, where Tokunbo Abiru of APC won. But as I said, Abiru of APC won. It's not as if very many people actually know him, where the man's constituency would be the banking sector, not the political terrain. So now he has his work cut out for him because he's been voted for politically sight unseen. He now has to prove himself that, no, that was no fluke. I am ready because I think it was Governor Sanwo-Olu who was saying that, look, go and represent, well. He was speaking to both of them. Go and be representatives of your people. First of all, thanking them and being happy. But it's an interesting scenario because I can't really call Abiru a dark horse in the sense that we knew months ahead of time that this was the preferred candidate of APC. But no campaign, because we are speaking about all of those things. No campaign, and if there were any campaign meetings, there must have been very few and far between. So, does this put weight or stress on such a winner, for example, to now show that he is worthy of the trust that's been placed in him?
I've employed so many people in my chambers, and generally, people want to go for an employment. A job interview, they go with a CV. And sometimes they build the CV. You read the CV, you say, you've gotten a superstar. At the end of the day, for me, I don't have problems. What we deal with in my chambers are files. Just give him the file. You are going to court tomorrow. Sort yourself out. It is your work. The Yoruba will say, you can do calabash, you can do plates. Right? So you give him the plate and the calabash. Let's see how he manages it. The same thing Abiru. He's been elected. He's been given the opportunity.
There's no doubt that he's a competent banker.
And that's where I'm going now. Yeah. So it is for him now to prove his competence.
Yes.
It doesn't matter maybe he's a politician or not. He's going to. There is a whole lot of challenges in the financial world in terms of lawmaking that he can bring his expertise there to say yes, this is how we can do to control interest rates. This is how we can do to control the banking sector. This is how we can do for lending. This is how we can do bringing out ideas that will reform
in fairness, most politicians start out from somewhere.
Yes. And their background must count. Their background must come up.
It will.
So if he allows his background to come up, obviously he will be the star boy of the Senate.
Indeed.
And of course, if he goes there and maybe in the evening or whenever we are sitting at home and we watch the television, we see him dozing off. Good luck to him.
No, he's not going to do. He's not going to be like that, I imagine. But you see, coming where he's coming from, the banking sector is not known to be very much like the politicians. They tend to be,
very
reserved,
He's a
conservative. You're not given to. Well, don't say that anybody else is given to rabble rousing, but you know what I mean. So these are not people. Bankers are not people like that, and that's about the only thing we know about Abiru.
Yes,
that he's a banker.
I've already said that.
He got to the very, very top of his career, the apex. He came away, with sterling colors. But now we have to find out when he now is caught in the political cloth. How well will he be? But congratulations to him.
Let me just tell you this. There's one Dr. Oloriegbe who is now the current chairman of the Health Committee of the Senate. And the man is pulling his mettle.
Yeah.
He's a first-timer. Yes. And he's pulling his mettle.
And he's a medical doctor.
And he's a medical doctor, pulling himself.
And it means that you concern yourself.
I hope somebody is watching to tell him that, look, you two go there and prove yourself. You see, we want, this time around, we have been promoting the idea of professionals in politics, not politicians, professional politicians in politics. We want professionals to be in politics. So if he is gone there now to join the professionals like Dr. Oloriegbe in politics, then we want the difference. Let them become 7-up. Let their activities be clearer than any other person. So that they are different. They will say that, yes, there is no mistake.
When you say 7-up, you're referring back to the old advertising line. The difference is clear.
That's where I'm going.
So let there be a difference. Let there be a clear difference
between them, the professionals who are now in politics, and the professional politicians who are in politics.
Well, now that since the by-election had to be held simply because of the unfortunate demise of
Peperito.
Yes, so how does it work? He will now be serving out that term, or no, it doesn't work like that. He has his own 4 years.
No, he doesn't have his own 4 years. Unlike Section 180D of the 1999 Constitution, for the governor, that is the executive, you start your year at the time you are sworn in, and that's why we have staggered elections. Various governors, like who is now next? Anambra. We are going to Anambra in the next few, maybe next year, 2021. We are going to Anambra or 2022. You saw Akeredolu assuming office for a second term, maybe next month or so. We have staggered election because of that clause, right? Through rigging and so on. But this one now, he's like you said, rightly said, he's going to just spend the term of Peperito. I mean, God bless the soul of that Peperito man.
Yeah, exactly. And so he will now present himself in a general election when the time comes.
Yes, and I hope you now use this one now to now show himself as the normal, that's popular politician. Let him show his color. Then people will see how colorful he is.
Indeed.
From the urbane and the conservative banker man, then you show your color as a politician, as a professional in politics.
But talking about the Lagos scenario, APC is very happy with him. In fact, the national leader of APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we have a package, in fact, where he was, commenting and expressing his feelings over the election.
The by-election has come and gone, and winners have emerged to fill the Lagos East seat in the Senate and the Koshofe constituency 2 seats in the State Assembly.
Abiru Mulkael Adetokunbo of All Progressive Congress, having satisfied the requirement of the law, is hereby declared the winner and returned elected.
The party leaders in Lagos have come to introduce the winners to the national leader of the APC and to thank him for believing in them.
And they have been hard, working hard to succeed. And today, we have a new senator-elect.
The APC's national leader says he is proud of the party candidates, leaders and residents of Lagos, as well as INEC, for conducting a peaceful by-election.
Our candidate has shown a highly disciplined, we know him, an experienced man. He has shown talent and character and respect for the party principles and norms. And we believe it's a great asset, not only to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but a good representation from Lagos, and a believer in the party principles and philosophy.
The candidates promise to uphold the tenets of the party while working towards the welfare of constituents and the development of Lagos.
Their welfare will be very paramount. Even during the course of the campaign, we have had to go around the entire district. We know some of their pain points. The current leadership of Lagos is meeting most of the needs. You can never do enough, but you have to continue to improve.
I'm more passionate and more resolute to deliver on the electoral promises that I give to my people.
Other party leaders thank residents for voting for APC.
Candidate and senator-elect has a very rich pedigree. He has won in a very unusual manner. He's won with 89% of the votes, and that is unprecedented in the annals of our history.
It was peaceful, it was orderly, it was stressless. And I hope other elections will be like that. INEC did very well. And for us in Ikorodu, some people tried to stroke violence, but I'm glad the people resisted it.
Tokunbo Abiru also visited Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu at the Marina State House, where he dedicated his victory to God Almighty and his party, the All Progressives Congress.
He's now a senator-elect. For us as a party, it's about governance. So it's not an APC, a lone senator. It's not a PDP or any other party. It's Lagos East senator, and he's going to do that representational duty for the entire constituents.
Constituents of the Lagos East now look forward to policies and implementation of projects that will bring growth to the senatorial district. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Lagos.
Okay, so there you were. You know, as I said, we just got assurance there that the man in Lagos, you know, is a party man, subscribes to the ideals of the party and all of that. But it doesn't obliterate anything that you've said, because, yeah, those who, as I said, the problem is not that he's not known. He is well known. He is well known in his community. And we've just got, you know, like first-hand accounts of the, you know, the wisdom of the choice. Okay, be that as it may. Maybe we could go on from there to something that you had said, and it relates to, it's in the papers this morning. You got this notice from the police that they were hearing the Lagos State Police Commander, Force PRO, was saying that they'd heard that there are some people actually thinking of protesting, like if you want, you know, an NSAS annex or part 2 or whatever. Now the police was warning that the idea was totally unacceptable. But first of all, how could anybody think of, I mean, we're still in the middle of this. The aftermath of this, we haven't quite sorted it out fully yet. We're still investigating that. Yet the police would not have spoken unless they had reliable authority. What do you think? That they were actually thinking of protesting, and of all protests on Saturday?
If I promise Yori Folari that I'm going to give him
I don't like
2,000.
I don't like why they make examples.
No,
of,
no, no.
Carry on,
both of
please.
us are conversing.
Okay.
Except you want me to use an imaginary person. I want the people who are at home to understand. I'm going somewhere.
Use Ajan Lekoko. If you promise Ajan Lekoko.
Ajan Lekoko may be angry. I'm a lawyer. He may sue me. Let me deal with you. We can handle each other.
Okay.
So I promise Uncle Yori that I'm going to give him 200,000 naira towards an event, which is 2 weeks' time. A day to the event, nothing happened. 2 days after the event, I didn't show up. My support was not forthcoming. You will be happy with me. As a natural human being, you'll be happy that yes, I disappointed you. And putting this, I like your body language. The youths protested in the month of October. They made a demand. Government said, yes, let's relax. And we were going to meet up. There was a 5 for 5 and all the various demands that were made. As I talk to you, there is nothing on ground. For God's sake, it should at least sit a pain. Now let me land. I'm not relating to... Relating, I'm going towards this NSAS. I'm going somewhere. I'm going there.
Okay.
So, there is nothing on ground to show that government is serious for the various promises for them to go off the street. I have been involved in the trenches. Some of us have sown ourselves to death. We look at it, we're careless about that. So it's not because of the death threat that put the people up, but the call by some people like us that, no, you people, shit this world. Let us see what government will do. Government, rather than bringing out the palliatives that will make things easy, are now threatening the children. Obviously, that's not good enough. But that doesn't mean I'm telling the children or the youth to come out and protest. That's not where I'm going. I'm just telling them that the government too has the responsibility to the people, and particularly to the youths, that they are disappointed. And I would think that rather than going 2-3 weeks, I've said it several times, that all it takes is for government to bring out a program. The programs they are putting on, and they say they're giving you 750 billion. Is, to me, where is it? Who are the youths that are enjoying it? Have you, as a top journalist, have you gotten one person that told you has enjoyed that program? If you, my brother here, have not seen one, then who are the people who are beneficiaries? Look, my brother, let us be realistic with each other. Again, for the opt-in time, not that I'm promoting the youth to go and protest. What I'm saying is that government should quickly roll out the drums. Not that, well, you see, they are making moves, they are planning it as they said in the papers, but to arrest that plan, let them begin to roll out the drums in terms of programs and activities. I've said it, to me, it's not rocket science. Let me land, sir. They can just say, okay, You, all of you in Lagos State, go to one place and register, maybe the police college itself or the testing ground or the secretariat. Register your name, whatever qualifications you are. This is a jet world. Within 2 hours, everybody will be sorted out. You begin to get alert. Go and report at the are you into journalism? Go and report at the Ministry of Information. Are you an agric graduate? You report at the Ministry of Agric. And of course, we have arable land. So where are the youth still unemployed? And the Bible tells me that the devil's the devil will find job for the idle hands, which of course idle hands is the devil's workshop. They have not kept them busy, and you think they will not be thinking of how to be on the street. And don't forget that it was fun for them during the EndSARS protest.
Well, until it wasn't fun. It was fun until it wasn't fun anymore. You know what? Let's take a break, and then I'll come back and maybe address some of those issues. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We'll be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV station of the year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every 1 hour, 86 migrants enter Lagos State. It is a beehive of activities. Every second counts in this city that never goes to sleep. There is always something to talk about. We go the extra mile to tell the story of Africa's 5th largest economy. We track happenings on land, on waterways, and in the air. We go against all odds to ensure that you are heard.
25% of the spread of Lagos is covered with water.
I'm Adedoja Salamageni. I live in Lagos.
Precious Amayo as I bring you news from the epicenter, where it happens and when it happens, staying on top of every breaking story, minute by minute, right at the hour when the city gets busy and just before it sleeps. We're live from every angle with objective insight and analysis. TVC News, first with breaking news.
The National Assembly is a busy place. As the bastion of democracy, it is a place where bills are presented, motions debated, laws made, and the yearnings of the people are laid bare. Come with us as we take you through the workings of the National Assembly. We take you through plenary, committee meetings, and probes, all to ensure smooth working of the democratic process.
Words, facts, opinion is the orchestra of these men who do not sway to the synthetic rhythm of opinion. The debater screams words trapped in tempos that run too fast to play back just as the instruments fall in and out of tune. Climbing a crescendo, men take a stand, testing and pulling, slamming the fact of each other, in and out. After the crescendo comes the climax, all notes quietly resting as the debates reach inference. Join me, Mark Otabo, as I conduct the symphony of debates on The Big Issue.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news hour, the hour for the big breaking stories.
We've got some of the best reporters on the field,
Taking you through as it happens.
It's fast-paced, hard-hitting,
With investigations that matter.
bringing you news that affects your life.
With sport, entertainment, and business news, so you don't miss a thing.
Experience resourceful coverage with depth.
Every
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. On Labour Lens, we believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labour, how policies affect workers in the workplace. On Labour Lens, I ensure we engage effectively the organised labour, organised private sector and government to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
Around 8 o'clock like this, I begin to shoot everybody.
When the friend they there now, we beg them, please come. They don't help us, but when they spoil everything.
We have reported the matter to the police.
There is always more to a story than the scripted line. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every 1 hour, 86 migrants enter Lagos State. It is a beehive of activities. Every second counts in this city that never goes to sleep. There is always something to talk about. We go the extra mile to tell the story of Africa's 5th largest economy. We track happenings on land, on waterways, and in the air. We go against all odds to ensure that you are heard.
25% of the entire spread of Lagos is covered with water.
I'm Adedoja Salamadeni. I live in Lagos.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Okay, welcome back, and we've since been joined by Damilola Balogun. Damilola Balogun is a youth development advocate. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much for having me, sir.
Indeed. We've been here before, and that is to say, both of us have been on this set before. And I thought, because on Saturday, when there was an election, following from the protests that had gone on in the past, one had thought that, maybe we'll see the way the youth would maybe come out and, as it were, make their voice heard by the ballot. Now there's a complaint that generally, not just the youth, but there was apathy generally. Why do you think the youth didn't seize the opportunity to make their voice heard one way or the other? Because it will be clear by the analysis that, look, the figures, the way they are, can only be between, in an unprecedented sort of way, is the way we were thinking about it. Clearly, the youth have come into this. That didn't happen. The youth, I don't know that you will know yourself, but what's the feeling you have?
Like I always say, sir, what it is really is that there is no confidence between the citizen and the government. So there is this space that has been for over a while. So people are like, even if I go out to vote with my vote count, even if my vote count would things really still change? But I still, in as much as some people still think that way, but the best way as to which to make things get better or to actually put in the change you really want to see is by election. It's gone are those days where you do the military takeover, you do this coup d'etat thing. No.
Yes.
The easiest way and
is by the ballot.
Yes, by the ballot.
So because it's all about representation.
Yes.
So if the people there, for example, if the people currently there are not to the satisfaction of the youth, that is to say, the representation they are getting, they're not feeling it, as the youth would put it, this was the time for them to, without any protest, or in fact, with a ballot protest, you know, comment on the whole matter. But you might say that it might well be that the youth were not interested in the candidates. Maybe not having been part of the emergence of the candidates. I don't know. But do you think isn't it the ideal sort of thing that the youth should come out? Because really, right now, before the NSAS protest and all of that, the youths, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, the youths generally were not participating. It might well be because of what you said earlier, that the confidence is lacking. They haven't participated, and they are in the majority.
So another thing again is, one thing I've thought of as well is that maybe they just want it to be, because everyone has been saying 2023, maybe it's the president, maybe it's, okay, yes, we want to go all in force to see how we can have a total change in governance from the top. But another thing is that he'd always have to start from the bottom. And a whole lot of, you know, the last election on Saturday was just a by-election. It was just an election that took part in some places in Nigeria. Maybe not a lot of persons are aware, or maybe they are not just interested. But I just feel that there is a need. Although, yeah, it's either we suffer from the regret of, it's either we suffer from regrets from the opportunities we did not take, or we suffer this discipline of the opportunities we take. So I think at this point, it is important that we actually just face what it is and see how we can make things get better. And the best way to do this is, okay, if you're not fine with it, because the power actually lies in the citizens.
Exactly. And in terms of demographics, I'm sure I'm not too far wrong when I say that we have a substantial mass in the youth.
Yes, very correct.
That showed in the unfortunate, you know, where in the protest, unfortunately, it ended the way it ended. And the youth were, you know, they actually got concessions, you know. Yes, later on, it all went wrong. So I don't know if one of the comments at the time by a lot of people, including the youth themselves, is that perhaps if there had been more experience, when they got the concessions, they would have been able to withdraw with them and then be able to come back, as it were, working upon those concessions. That didn't happen. A lot of people have commented on that. But be that as it may, now that this opportunity has come about, because the only way to change anything is going to be through political change. Do you have the sense that perhaps the ball was dropped? Because these opportunities, if they said that opportunities was missed, now here was another opportunity, except of course, I understand that it's possible that the youth might have not seen any candidate worthy of their attention. But generally speaking, when do you think, or how do you think the youth can come and be involved in the political process such that they begin to be taken the way they want to be taken, which is seriously?
Yeah, I would like to make a point. You said whether or not the youths are not interested in the parties that contested on Saturday.
Yes, or the candidates.
It still doesn't matter. If you are not interested in it, whether you like it or not, one of these persons will emerge.
Will emerge.
And then they will have the will to direct whatever we do within that space that they will be in office.
Admitted it's a by-election, as you said.
Yeah, it's a by-election. So at the end of the day, I feel that we still should make a little, we should even make impact. We should try and see how to make things change, since that, okay, especially that we just finished, or we're just recovering from an NSAS protest, and seeing that a whole lot of things were tied to the protest, bad governance, poor leadership, and all of that. So I think, yeah, this was the very first time that we should have said that, okay, no, we mean business. This is how we want things to go. Yeah. So yeah, it's considerably, yes, Nigeria currently has about 40% of youths are made up of its population. So I feel like a whole lot of youths, they're just, I mean, I have friends, I have people that are not just interested.
Do you feel, does that disappoint you a bit?
Yeah, kind of.
Sort of.
Yeah, kind of, because each and every person, you talk to them and they're like, oh, okay, who is running? This is the person running, okay. And they're not just interested. I can tell to a reasonable extent, youths don't even mind if whoever emerges president, if it's a man of 70, if it's a man of 80, but at the end of the day, if you can serve the purpose for which you are in office, then of course it won't even be a big deal. It won't be a big deal in the first place. So I mean, because it's not even about age, it's not about anything. It's about the personality, it's about the person in office. So if it's going to be a 60-year-old man, if that's the person that is really going to lead us to where we want to be, there's no problem. If they're going to be a 40-year-old man or a 40-year-old woman or 60-year-old woman, then if that's the person that will lead us to where we want to be, then there's no problem.
But the youth have to engage at some point in time. They have to engage with the process. Perhaps.
That, I agree totally, and I see that space is lacking. So I think the best way to do it is, in as much as we might not really even be interested, I just feel that in a way we just have to start getting engaged.
I would think so, because it's a bit confusing when you try to look at it. And of course, you were speaking here of your personal opinion.
Yes,
it's not as if you're speaking for any grouping or NSAS or things like that. But the youth, I imagine, will have to indicate one way or the other, in some sort of a way that they can't be left out, that you can't leave us out of your conversations. You can't. In fact, that is, I think government gave them an opportunity to come and engage in a conversation, and all of that went the way it went. But then looking forward, you said that maybe 2023 is where people are looking towards. But they have to start from somewhere. I mean, now we're not talking about the youth in particular, but we're just talking about what needs to be if all of this is not to be a waste. Right now we have the panel, the committees that are investigating the aftermath, in the aftermath of all of this. So, well, from what you said, and I know you were just, guessing, but maybe the youth are looking towards 2023. Even then, they haven't, perhaps you'll agree, haven't shown that, we're ready, as it were.
Yeah.
But you can also say that between now and 2023 is a very long time. And so maybe, in political terms, in political terms, it's a very long time.
You can say that, but we also have to bear in mind that they say proper planning prevents poor performance. So if you really want to do anything, you always have to stay prepared. I mean,
are you, for instance, as an individual, are you interested enough to be willing to invest time, because that is what it is, time in the process? And I ask this question against the backdrop of your saying that most youth, and I'm guessing that you are also involved, there's a trust deficit between the youth and the governors, people who are in governance right now. Do you feel passionate enough about it as a youth? Maybe just my touching you as a lightning rod. Do you feel passionate enough about it to be willing to invest the time?
Yeah, I feel that personally for me, what I feel is that there's a whole lot to do, and there's a whole lot to deal with. And I just believe that it's a day at a time, one step at a time. So in as much as a lot of persons might just want to change now. I'm sorry, that might not be what people get. Okay. I believe it's a step at a time. So the point now is a whole lot of people maybe just have it in their mind that, okay, if this is going to get better, it will take time. Okay. So I'm not willing to even invest my time in the first place if it's not something that I would actually, see. Because I have a friend that said, okay, she believes that, okay, Nigeria might not get better in her time, but she believes it to get better in that of her generation yet to come. So a lot of people just want that Nigeria now.
But exactly, some people want it now, and some people are saying, like you said, your friend said, that It might not be in my time. Maybe if that was a young person saying that, and it might not be in my time, but maybe in my children's, you know, in the time of my children. But it's still, you look at, if you look at things happening around the world, former president of the U.S., Obama, we were told that he began the quest for the presidency 10 years before.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine campaigning for 10 years? So he knew that we're going to have to work at this.
Yeah.
So that kind of a concept and sort of dedication, steadfastness, whether we like it or not, our youth are going to have to, you know, adopt some of those principles I imagine.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's clear that our youths are, you know, they can hold their own with anywhere in the world. But politically, maybe, what do you think? You find that there's too much careless talk going on about Nigeria. And here I've left the NSAS, you know, section. I'm just looking at the way we are generally. We criticize this country too much, perhaps you will agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We badmouth our own country,
yes,
even though we might not mean it in our hearts, you know. Because if a foreigner were to join in, I imagine both people busy badmouthing their own country might just look towards him and say, my friend, what's the problem? When did that one start? But what is it about Nigeria that sort of encourages people to badmouth it? Even if they think people are mismanaging the country, it still is their country.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And aside the example of Obama, I mean, Joe Biden at the first time, he ran when he was 45. He didn't become president until when he's 78 of recent. Yeah. So one other key thing is that I just feel that you just have to start something. I mean, it's a whole lot to criticize Nigeria. I mean, we can sit down from now to God knows when, and we can have so much to talk about how bad and how poor Nigeria is.
Yes, and how corrupt some of these people are.
I just feel that what is important is, one way or the other, let's make that change we want to see. Yes. Let's begin to take action. I personally, I saw that, okay, there is something that's lacking in Nigeria, because I had the opportunity to travel for a conference, and then I was really motivated as to the people I met. And then I came back to Nigeria. I started a conference, and the conference has done the first edition, the second edition. We're planning our third edition with some international partnerships. So at the end of the day, I mean, if it's everybody pulling forces together, then the governments will know that, okay, yes, okay, these people are actually ready and they're actually doing something. I understand that the environment is not enabling. It is not. It is not enabling for anybody.
Because what you're talking about here, if you were to build a house now, you know you won't wait for public water to connect to the public water.
Yes.
People know that you're going to sink a borehole. It's not that it's their duty to, but they know that, look, they'll get around to it, but for now, it's not working like that. Ditto people, just about everybody, you don't even wait to build a house before you buy a generator. It's because we can't. We can't do those things for ourselves. So I wonder why that same notion isn't translated into the political sphere, that maybe they might not like it when we say it. Maybe for now they can't do better than this. And so it's up to the youth to say, fine, we didn't wait for you when with the metaphorical public water supply, we all found ways to get our own water. Same thing, we're not going to wait for you. Even for houses, who can build houses with a mortgage? So you see what I'm saying is that in other aspects of life, we sort of agree that it's not where it needs to be. But not all of us are making a beeline for Canada, saying, please come and give me permanent residence, or all those other countries that are busy doing that same sort of a thing. So it's always sort of intriguing to me. At the same time, the youth show that they are very passionate about Nigeria. They love Nigeria. They're proud of Nigeria. They fly the flag proudly. But then there are other things. It's a Jekyll and Hyde kind of a thing. It's a Jekyll and Hyde kind of a thing. So people that love Nigeria passionately will wear the flag if they can. But other aspects come now, and you begin to badmouth Nigeria, maybe because of some individuals.
I think that's not something that we can actually deal with. It's beyond anybody. It's okay. Nigeria is this.
It's a psychological construct.
It's even coming so unconscious for some people.
Indeed. They might not even be aware of what precisely they are doing.
To just say it like, oh, this country is this.
People just say that kind of thing.
I mean, I saw a video. I watched a documentary of a Nigerian who is already an American.
Yes.
She has offices, and
yes.
I mean, during the election time, she was interviewed on TV, and I was watching the TV, and then she ended her statements with, "And please pray for America."
There you go.
And I was moved, like, wow, this
There
is
you go.
Nigeria.
And, well, Nigerians we're different. Look at that American that Mr. Biden has said he's bringing into his cabinet. People began to proudly send WhatsApp messages up and down. So how proud we are of this man. Anyway, Damilola, let me just say thank you very much, for making the time to come. A youth development advocate, and we've been talking about those kind of things. Sorry you couldn't get here earlier. That's the unpredictable nature of Lagos traffic sometimes. But thank you very much for coming. I hope you'll come again when we call.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's our program today then. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folani. Bye-bye for now.